the budget hearing meeting to order. It's the public hearing. So, public, it's all yours. Any comments, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, just concern with the fire department. We don't, we haven't signed a contract yet. We don't know what our status is, to the extent of, we know that, we gave you guys a contract earlier in the year, what we think we needed. We were, that wasn't, the full amount wasn't accepted, so we're just curious kind of where that sits and what the next steps are for that.
Okay. I'm going to take this off so we're social distance here. We have less operating money this year. John Schaefer is right behind you, Matt. He was former city controller of Michigan City and worked for the State Board of Accounts. So if I'm not saying something correct, John, please pipe in. While our general fund money, we might have had more money this year because of the circuit breaker. We have less money coming up for 2021 due to the pandemic. People weren't driving, the excise tax, and worse yet, people weren't gambling. So the riverboat money is way down. So John, if you want to expand on that, what we can't use from that money, we have to make up with general fund money.
Right.
We've cut all the money that we could and had utilities pick it up when we could from the general fund, so we had money to operate on this year. We're looking, when we talked Matt and I talked last week with Regina, that we're working on options for next year because everybody's in a pinch right now. So I guess rumors are going around that we want to get rid of the fire department. No, we don't. And you know that too. I mean, we haven't said that rumor, but just so people know. And if we can do something this year to help you guys out like we talked about, we will, and the same thing goes for next year. And the contract is due, the 2020 contract expires December 31st, so we got time on that. But we will be getting with you now. We got the holiday and the summer out of the way. So, thank you, Matt. I'm guessing that's Matt with a mask on.
Correct.
Okay. Anyone else? David?
What's our number, Mike?
Money that's in the budget was the same as last year, 41 grand. What increase did you get from Jackson Township? Anything?
We did get an increase, yes.
How much, do you know?
It hasn't been finalized yet. We're still talking with her.
On our budget? Okay. I was just curious. Anyone else? I don't know who that is there in the...
I'm Brandon.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Brandon? Do you have anything?
Nothing right now.
Okay.
Tracy Williams?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
What?
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry. Do you have anything to add or questions or anything? This gentleman
Being
here.
in the trucking business for over 40 years,
Mhm.
what is the tax money that you're talking about, road tax, that comes to this town? I'd like that explained to me because I paid thousands of dollars in road taxes,
That's correct.
but it doesn't come to a local fire department.
No, it can't.
That's what I'm wondering, why does that have anything to do with their budget?
Because
I apologize.
okay, that's okay, I'll wait.
I gotta go. I apologize.
No, that's okay. They always ring at the most inopportune
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. I don't know, it's just, this thing that you're talking about road tax for the road tax money that you didn't get last year, that's why you couldn't give them additional money last year.
Because, I didn't mean, go ahead.
I don't know why that would have made any difference. Where did this road tax money affect anything?
Because the road tax, the state put a restriction on the road tax. We couldn't, used to be road tax, some
But
of
you
it
could spend that money in other departments,
only on streets,
only on streets.
yes.
Oh,
That's by
that's
statute.
not what I read in the minutes.
Well, then, what did you read in the minutes?
What I read in the minutes was that, And it was quoted by one of your people in this room that, if we cut the fire department, we'd be able to add another policeman.
No, that's not true, and I'd like to
Well,
say it's
that's not true, but that is in your minutes. and you
No,
will
it's
have to
not.
read it.
I'd like to see it.
Okay, we'll bring it to you.
Please do.
Sure.
We
Please do.
will. We will.
John, do you, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And we will bring it to you, I'll bring it to you.
John, explain the road tax and what it can be used for and why we had used general fund money to make up the shortage of the road tax.
Prior to, who that was, July 1st of last year, all of the road tax could be used to fund the street department. So you can use all of it for plowing and mowing and whatever it is you had to do. Then last year in July, the state law took effect that said half of it has to be used strictly for street construction. So that means that the regular operating expenses of the street department aren't fully funded from the road tax. So that's why some of the property tax money had to be shifted to the street department to keep that up. Now, the restricted part of it, you're using to match your community crossings grant and leveraging that for extra improvements, so it is being used the way it's supposed to be. The operating part of it just isn't there.
In fact, with the restricted money, you can't buy cold patch even with it. Which, a little town,
Can't buy a truck with it. You can't-
yeah, it hurts a little town like across Wanata, Westville, probably Walkerton, the small towns. The big cities, they can go in and mill a bunch of streets, 50-foot sections at a time, because it pays to do it because they have miles and miles of streets. It's killing the small towns. I'll say one thing, you're popular.
Yeah, everybody wants to know what I'm.
Mike,
Yes,
since the police department was brought up, just for clarification, we eliminated all of our part-time staff to add the last officer, the last full-time officer that we had.
Which I don't understand at all. I've run businesses for over 40 years, and I can always hire a part-time employee cheaper and easier and less benefits, less problems, less chance of unemployment than I could any full-time employee. If I can hire 2 part-timers, that's what I always had to do.
well, a trucking company, sir, is a lot different. A police
I
department,
guess so.
I
it
would
is.
say so, we carry guns,
Well, I wouldn't say
kind of
that.
throwing that out there.
Okay.
But anyway,
But you can
I-
carry your guns, that doesn't intimidate me.
it's not what I'm saying.
Well, I thought that's what we were trying to do.
I'm saying that we have to make split-second decisions. And it's
The
much,
department doesn't?
I don't think I've brought up the fire department yet, sir.
All right, I'm just saying, the department doesn't.
I'm addressing the police department.
Hmm.
So, as we discussed, when we went to a full-time staff, we wanted to be able to direct the training, provide leadership training, be able to manage our people. We wanted full-time employees that were vested in the community. We wanted to provide some kind of consistent schedule for our employees instead of constantly jerking guys from one shift to the next to provide coverage. And we were also able to finally, actually, starting this week, or actually starting last week, we went to a complete 24/7 schedule. So by going to a full-time staff, we have full-time officers who are vested in the community. We control their training, and we have 24/7 coverage finally. So we accomplished a lot by doing that.
And that's great. We don't have a problem with the fire, or with the police department. It's just that you think the fire department is gonna operate on half budget, keep on half budget. $41,000 won't even begin to buy the equipment needed for the truck.
Do you know they're the second highest paid department with what they're getting now in the county?
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, clarification on that was that we're one of the few that own all of the equipment. So most of the other townships
Township has a bunch of guys that truck.
Not since 2069.
You've got,
Our first two engines down right now, so we're trying to get the funds.
I mean, we-
to purchase a new one, so. But yeah, so that's one of the differences with our department is that since we have to purchase all of our equipment, we don't, our trustee, township trustees don't buy all of the equipment for us, so we have to start purchasing as well, so.
and township trustees, I'm adding to what you're saying, Matt, is they also have a separate tax rate for their firefighting fund and their fume fund for firefighting, an advantage they have.
And just a clarification, I do have a copy of the minutes where that was stated.
Let me see it, because like,
Yeah, that's what I was just coming in on my phone too.
Clarification.
the blue mark, Matt,
The orange. So it's
like this blue mark.
no, this one's the, sorry.
Right, as well as the crossing guard contract, the fifth officer would be possible. Right, the crossing guard contract was split with the school last year, 50-50 last year. This year, we have also decreased that amount more and splitting it with the school, so it's less. But
You stated that by type that we cut the fire department so we could afford a fifth officer. That's not absolutely what was discussed. Had you come to that meeting, you would have heard the whole conversation.
I was.
Minutes are brief, that's why they're called minutes.
Mhm.
And
But that's
exactly
why
what
the
was
public
discussed.
record too.
But that's exactly what was discussed.
Mhm. But that's why the public record, yeah.
And you have them.
I do, I'm reading them.
and your address, sir, you live in Westville.
I don't have to live in Westville to be here.
Well, you're not paying the freight for the fire department if you don't live in Westville. This
So
is,
this is a public meeting.
that is a public meeting,
It is,
but.
but then I don't have to be here
but-
and ever discuss it.
But my point is that this is the taxpayers of Westville for their budget, and this is the portion of the fire department
You want me
budget
to
that they're
leave?
paying. What's that?
Are you asking me to leave?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
asking if you lived in town.
I do not live in town.
Okay, so
My
you don't-
grandchildren live here, I have a
Good.
son that lives here, I have a daughter-in-law that lives
That's
here.
good.
I have a vested interest in this because I have family that lives here.
Guess what? I live here too, and so do us, and I have a
That's
vested
fine.
interest in town.
That's
And
fine.
we are concentrating on what's doing the best with the amount of money we have, which is less every year. And if we can get them more
I don't
money next year,
understand how my property taxes go up every year, and I'm sure the people here, the theirs go up and stuff, and we pay more at the fuel pump than we ever paid for taxes. Now, all this stuff goes up.
you're paying 20 cents a gallon on fuel tax,
Yeah,
correct?
as I said, we're paying more at the fuel pump than we ever paid, and all this stuff keeps going up, and you all don't
No?
get it. Where's it going?
Again, our general fund is less. Our MVH fund, the fuel tax fund, is less because we can only spend 50% of what we get as opposed to before. Our costs are going up. Your reason your taxes are going up is if the assessed valuation goes down. Yeah, Dave, I'm sorry.
That's all right, no, go ahead and finish, Mike.
If your rates are gonna fluctuate, your tax rate, we only are limited to the same amount every year plus at the max 3%, John?
This year it's 4.2, for next year, 4.2%. But that's only 4.2% increase in the property tax, not the budget. So it's
Right.
the property tax money, which amounts to $15,000 or $16,000.
Okay,
I'd like to address higher, you made a comment about the highest paid department. I'm not prepared to argue that tonight, but I will throw out there, we also might provide coverage for 3 entities. It's not just one,
right,
like the other departments do.
right. And you're also getting, last year you got $22,000 from Jackson Township, who's a bigger area than we are. They have $1 million homes, their assessed valuation is off the chart. She's got millions of dollars in her cume fund. Why isn't, and we're paying $41,000, you're complaining, why aren't you going after her to pay her share? Because I really don't think Jackson Township is paying their fair share compared to what they pay Liberty Township.
Okay, let's look at it like this, Mike. We answer 100 calls. No, wait.
So,
We answer 100 calls for Jackson Township.
Mhm.
They give us 23,220, I believe is the number, right off the top of my head. We run over 200 calls for Westville. 200 calls for Westville, we get $40,000.
Mhm.
All right, if you double the 100 and double the money, you're not paying as much as they are.
But every fire you have over there, you're sending our water over there that our taxpayers and our ratepayers are paying. And you're also, if you damage a hydrant when it's cold out, our people or our ratepayers are the ones paying to fix the water main that's busted. They've got it pretty good over there.
Well, not every fire we pull water from here, but the
No,
other
but you
clarification.
pull a lot of them.
The other clarification is we only cover a mile in Jackson Township. So we only cover a small swatch of their area compared to Liberty who covers the rest of it.
Right, I know that.
So, and the area that we do cover of Jackson Township, we're also dual tunnel for every one of their calls. So we're not the only responding unit there. Liberty is also responding to those calls, just like we respond to another area of Jackson. You know, mutual aid to Liberty Township as well, so.
And you have mutual aid when you have a fire
Correct, yes.
here. Anything else? Okay, I will make a motion, we close the hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded to close the hearing at 6:45. Any discussion?